Hi, it's Nancy welcoming you to Garden Scroll. Today is June the 24th and we've gotten some more rain. It's been so wonderful. You know, there's some things in the garden that's just so much easier and better to do when it's rainy. It's overcast and not so hot. You can actually do some physical work, and some of the ground is, soft enough. If you need to push something down in the ground, it's going to go a little bit farther than 2 inches. So I did get a lot done, but it's just so beautiful. Everything is just blooming or coming up bigger and taller and thicker and more lush and beautiful. Look at this little volunteer zinnia. Is kind of coming up in a place where it doesn't necessarily need to be, but it's so pretty. I'm leaving it there. And this little pot of this little more shallow, but I really like this little pot, and look at it. It is filling out. I really didn't think it would. It looked so scraggly, and I can't always depend on my calabachoas to do well, but for right now anyway, it is filling out and it does look great. And I wondered what this little plant was. Right here, because it's volunteer from last year too, and it's going to be a salvia, or it is a salvia, an annual salvia, and I think it's going to look great there. And just look at this molten lava coleus. Isn't it beautiful? It just filled out and filled out and filled out. It's going to get as big as this whole little pot maybe. If it keeps doing like that, it definitely will. And this little pot of impatience is just about to fill it up so that you can barely see this little girl. I just love her. She's just beautiful, like me. Maybe we're not so beautiful, but we're just happy in our environment right now. And it shows. Even this little pot by our front door is trying to fill out. It's not looking so sparse any longer. Even the little rose moss is blooming. And on this side, everything is looking great. And look at this beautiful little crepe myrtle tree. It's just full of bloom, which not all of them are, but I think this one will bloom too. But right now, this one is definitely holding the attention of everybody more so than the others, with all this beautiful bloom. These tiny little pots are looking great too. And remember, I had to redo them and buy new impatiens over and over again, but now I think they're coming into their own and looking great. Thank the Lord. And look at this. This is the new just a minute, I have to think. Periwinkles. These are the new periwinkles that I put in, and they're looking great too. That rain just helps everything in the garden. Purslane moss is looking good. Oh look, I passed right by this one. I didn't think there were any blooms there, but there are. And look at this beautiful sweet little bloom. How cute is that? It's called a double purslane moss. This is a verbena and a double petunia, and a lot of my double petunias just died. They just wilted, and there they sat until I pulled them out and threw them away. But this one, look at that fullness of the plant itself, and then that beautiful little pom-pom tassel bloom. And I love this little coleus because it's so bright, and it brings your attention right to the rest of the flowers in the pot. And this is a calabachoa that's still living for me. And right across over here is where I put some more of the periwinkles that actually died out. Oh my. And this is not good. This is something the rain brings out too, but I do not like it. I'm going to have to get rid of this little snail right here. Oh my goodness. That's probably what happened to him, that reason that they died. But he's got to go. And because I know they started here, sometimes they will just find one plant and just destroy it before they move on to another. So I'm actually going to spray this with a spray that does say it helps to kill out well, it actually says pill bugs, but if it says pill bugs, it usually will help to cut back the snails too. Okay, I just sprayed that, and I also looked over here, and there were 2 more snails that I found and 3 slugs, so that's not good. But I've sprayed those and got the ones that I saw out of there, and I'm hoping that I will keep them from destroying these little plants right when they're just taking off and trying to do well. I hope they can continue on and do that. And during the slightly cooler weather, the overcast skies, which we do not have right now, it's sunny and bright, but I noticed that my little bougainvillea actually does look a little bit more purple, which I was hoping it was. That's what it said it was, but to me so far it had looked more like the pink ones that I already had, but it does look more purple now, and I'm glad that's the case. And this little verbena has started blooming. It's looking great. Oh, this one has grown up taller too, so much taller than it was. That little impatiens, the pink and the red on either side of this little decor girl for the garden. Look at these once little scraggly sweet potato vines that I kept in a glass of water in the window all over winter, and they did all kind of look like this little one right here, only they did have a little bit of green, but now they're shaping up and coming into their own. And I'm afraid this little fuchsia plant is getting too much sun for this spot. I need to look around and find it a shady spot to put it in, because I did have one here before and it died. So I'll look and see what I can find where I can put that maybe. Of course, here's another little thing that is not something I like growing up because of the rain, but it is weeds and grass, unwanted grass. This does not belong here or anywhere in the garden. It's a crabgrass, actually. And I was going to try to show you what they call pill bugs, and I did not know they were even called that for a long, long time. Not until I started gardening, and I learned that what we always call roly-polies are also called pill bugs. And some places you will look it up, and they will tell you that they don't do any harm, but they do. I've got proof of it, but they really will. Okay, here's one right here. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that or not, but I'm going to pick it up, and when I do, it'll roll up into a little ball, and then I'm going to kill that, because they will gather up the whole family and all get right under one little stem and destroy it. And then you'll look out here and you'll find that your plant is totally wilted, and you'll wonder why, and then you'll realize why. There'll still be some of them still probably under there licking the plate or the stem. And I did dig up my little castor bean that I had one extra of, and also I found 3 little crepe myrtles that had planted themselves from the seed of the mother tree, and I dug those up too because I think I know some people that might want those. So I'm switching out this little plant that I just moved where it was getting too much sun, I'm afraid, and put it right here where it's going to get some shade from this little crepe myrtle and also from this little tree. So this end of my flower bed in the front yard gets quite a bit of shade, but not very far on down. It's mostly sun, except for the very back of it, which is under the eave of the house, and that's where I have my hostas, but they also sometimes get scorched. They just don't get enough shade. And when I planted these, I actually had a big maple tree, but actually that's why I put everything in pots, because the maple tree roots are shallow and they grow right up and just don't give your plants a chance to have any room to grow their root. So I put them in pots and I put them up here, and so far it is working, but like I was saying, sometimes they do get scorched, and that's not a good thing. But all the way in the back are my hostas. And the catmint. This pretty little blue blooms are looking great after the rain. And did I point out that my pink Texas Star hibiscus has been putting on all the blooms it can during this little rainy period. I watched the weather report just a bit ago and totally realized that, you know, summer's going to come back again. We still have a chance of rain again tomorrow, and I think a slight chance Friday, and then that's going to be it for our rains for a while. Hopefully not for too long. We were thinking we weren't going to be missed by the rains again this summer, but so far we've done well. I actually did buy a few of the little pink periwinkles. I don't know where I'm going to put them, but I'll find a spot. I was thinking that I maybe had a spot that was bare and I could put those in there, but we'll see. I'm not sure where that is. I was looking around and I thought, now where did I think I could put these? But I will find a spot. So more of the tall Laura phlox is blooming. And I just came to the back and look what's greeting me. I did know that it did have a few blooms on it. This is my peppermint lace crepe myrtle, and it has never gotten tall like the other crepe myrtles have, but it's so beautiful. its name is perfect for it. Peppermint lace. And I'm seeing that we have a couple of new lily blooms. Let me come over here and tilt these up so you can see how pretty they are. Oh, and make that 3. I missed this one. It's laying down over here. I need to come out here and kind of tie these up so they can stand up better. But they're looking beautiful. There, now perhaps they could show off just a little bit more. And if I'd had time after I did all that, which actually I did have time, except that I went inside because I had to eat something. I was getting shaky, and after I ate something I couldn't seem to get back up out of the chair. So, but anyway, you would have seen this beautiful spider daylily, how it just flares open like that instead of holding together like some of the lilies do. But we'll still have another chance. Maybe I'll be able to get this one for you when it's opened. And some of the tall phlox back here really is quite tall. Some of it's pretty short this year, but all of it's beautiful when it puts on that big old head of little blooms that make up that beautiful bloom that the butterflies love. And I told you I was planting some grass seed here, and it came up great. It's looking so good. You will see some bare spots, but I got out here and put some more seed there, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to get it all growing where it'll look great. And I have another spot over on this side of the west fence that I need to do that too. And it's hard to do it even when it's, for me, even when it's a little bit cooler out, but when it's like it is today, when it's hot, any amount of heat, and the more intense, the harder it is to stay out here and work with sweat dripping down your neck and into your eyes. But it looks great right now. Look at this lovely, lovely bright purple salvia, and it's doing so well. I hope it'll keep right on doing well. I think I might come out and pull up some of these little spider zinnias that are around it so it won't take all its nutrients away from it. I'm not sure. These don't get very big, but you know, sometimes things that don't get very big can still shade something out if it needs the sun. My little sedum that I put here died out, but I just pulled up a weed that was able to grow, of course. And then this is another sedum which is looking okay right now, and I hope it continues on and will look beautiful. I think this is the thunderstorm sedum. And I'm seeing another little lily that I need to go get some stake and some string and tie it up. Daylilies are still popping open and popping up for us to enjoy. I love color. Okay, now this little lily is standing to attention, saying, "Look at me." The rest of the lawn is still nice and green. It won't take it long to go back to a kind of a yellow shade. So, but hopefully we'll still get rains along the way and it won't be too awfully bad. And here's a little group of tall phlox. These are just slightly different than the Laura phlox, but always pretty. My Laura phlox seems to take over. It's kind of a dominant strain, I think, but I would love to have all the pretty colors of different colors of phlox in my garden. But if I can't, I'll certainly settle for the ones that are pink. These are pink with another pink, darker pink in the center, and I think the Laura phlox are like pink with a purple center. Maybe I'll find one and point it out to you a little clearer so you can see the difference. Actually, I'm seeing one right on up the way here. But then these look a little more, I don't know, they're not how I described them, but they do have some shade of purple mixed in with the pink. Still very pretty. And some of my sedum, I think this is Autumn Fire maybe, but it's beginning to put color in it too. This is my first year for this double strawberry coneflower, and I'm really liking it. It has a long way to grow up tall, but it's still pretty, even short like that. And then right here beside it is another beautiful daylily. And I walked over to see if my castor bean is still doing fine, and it is. Looks a little lonesome there because I had two of them there for a while, but I only want one. They grow up tall. They're very pretty. The seed heads are lovely. They're I think this particular one puts on a bright red seed head, but then when those seed heads dry, they crack open and plant these all over your yard, and you'll be pulling them up for forever. But I don't want that. So I just try to just get one. That way hopefully I can always remember to come out and clip those seed heads off before they totally turn all the way dry and crack open on their own. And right across from that, I had planted seed in here and they didn't come up, so I planted some more. And look, they are coming up. So I think these are just zinnias. I started to say the regular height zinnia, but I think these were the shorter zinnias, but maybe the full ones or the profusion ones, one or the other. But at least it won't be empty, and we'll have some beautiful color in here later on in the season when they grow up and bloom. And these in this little pot have already grown up. They're the ones that I planted when I planted the first ones in the one I just showed you. And it won't be long till they start putting on bloom. And I'm seeing that I have a little bit of the David white tall phlox here beside it. And I'm pulling up purslane weed as I go. When these come back, I'm pretty sure even if they come back from a beautiful real purslane flower, they come back as the weed that they're actually probably hybridized from. But these do not have, the weed does not have a beautiful bloom. It has a little knot on top of it that breaks open and just puts these down all around everywhere it can get them. And then you'll be picking, I have anyway, been pulling these up for years because I made the mistake one time to plant these, just let them grow, because I thought they would come back in the beautiful purslane moss and just be a beautiful ground cover, but that is not what happens. And I can see even from here the black and blue salvia has several pretty blue blooms on it. Oh, and here is another place I spent quite a bit of time on this strawberry pyramid that has flowers in it. And I'm not sure what I want to put in it. Right now it has petunias in it, and I love the petunias. They're pretty and they smell nice, but for this strawberry pyramid, they do get out of hand. They get too big, and you can always cut them down, of course, but I'd rather have something that I didn't have to be out here in the heat trimming down so many times, because it does not take them long to get right back up there to that tall length and then lay over and just look a little bit unsightly to me. So I planted some profusion zinnias in here and a few purple alyssum and a few rose moss and a few forget-me-nots. So we'll see. Maybe something of all that will grow and fill this out, so I'd be ready when it ceases to look so scraggly every year, when it's full and beautiful. I know that can happen. I don't know if it will, but I'm hoping. For a second there I was thinking, this would be pretty in just that purslane moss, and then I remembered, oh no, it wouldn't, because the next year I would have a whole strawberry pyramid, plus all over the outsides and any place else it could go, of purslane weed. I do not want that. Few things I've learned gardening, and that's one of them. Look at this wandering Jew. It looks so scraggly when I put it out here. I saved this in a glass in the window. And I've tried saving it just in the pot, but I've lost it every time, and I at least can keep some of it, no matter that it does look terribly scraggly. But once I put it in this little pot and gave it some plant food, it just took off and went, and it's looking so good. I think it's going to look even better when these little coleuses come up here and just add to the beauty of it. And I noticed that the little transplanted zinnias I put in this pot were dying too, just like the other one did, the first one did. But then guess what they did when it rained? Can you see that dead scraggly stuff there? And even this one has some down below. But it decided, oh yes, I'm going to live here. This is going to be a great place to live. And it just stopped. It stopped doing all that old drying up and fading away. So I don't know if after the cooler days and the rain stops, if it will go ahead and go back, or if it will have its little root and all of it in the whole plant more accustomed to its place, and maybe it can still go ahead and grow there. I absolutely love this licorice plant. It just doesn't stop. It never stops trailing. It just keeps on going and going and going. It's so beautiful. But I would like to have, and then I always love to put this Dusty Miller in with it, because they're just a little slightly different shade of the same color of powder blue. But I was saying, I still think it will be prettier if it has some tall stuff in the back of that. But I wouldn't want to lose this and take it out so that the others can grow, because they just need to grow together and look beautiful. And I'm walking over to this side of the pot because I'm looking to see if I still have my little blue bacopa, and I do. Sometimes this plays out for me too, but sometimes it keeps going, and I'm hoping and rooting for the keeping going. So I'll miss these rainy days, and even now it's cooler, but it's not cool, but it's still so much better than when the heat comes on and stays. It's hard to work with a garden this big and keep your spirits up. But sometimes, even in that, there'll be a beautiful bloom or something that's just done so much better than you ever thought it could, and give you a little jolt of joy. And I don't know if you remember how scraggly this looked when I brought it out, but it's not scraggly anymore. It's thick and lush and beautiful, and this other one right behind it is too. So I need to put some more plant food on these. The bougainvilleas and several plants like the petunias, the calabachoas, the scaviola or fanflower. A lot of them just need, they're called heavy feeders. They need a lot of plant food, so I need to get it out here, so hopefully they will bloom those big gorgeous, these are pink blooms, and the pink and the purple are my favorites. All of them look good though. Look at this purslane moss this morning. It's just glorying over that rain. I decided to stop filming and just water this down some more because it needs to stay damp until the seeds sprout, and then to stay damp enough to get it going good, get its root down and everything. So I'll have to keep a watch on it, and hopefully it doesn't just quit when the sun comes back out again, which is not far away. Well, the sun is out now, but I mean when the overcast skies and all our chances of rain are gone, I'll definitely have to keep it watered. Look, one of my little bed mandevilla is blooming. And I don't remember if I've shown you that I did find a little flamingo that I could put down in my little water garden. Oh, the moss is looking good over here too. We go get that that's in the back there. And then this little swan. And then this one too. How pretty. As well as the profusion zinnias are blooming. And I did plant a few more seed in this back one, which they're not coming up yet, but hopefully they will. Kind of go around here and take a look at it. Probably needs some water too, actually. There, I've watered those little seeds now, and I have learned just to keep several little watering cans around so that sometimes there'll be a plant that's in dire need of it before I can carry the whole garden hose all the way around the garden. So it helps me out and helps the little plant out. Look at this lovely artillery plant. Isn't it beautiful? I knew it could be, but it was so scraggly when I brought it outside after keeping it in the house through the winter that I wasn't sure, but I was having hope for it, and looks like my hope is paid off thus far because it's getting thick and beautiful and healthy looking. I also did tie this little sweet pea vine upward or up onto this trellis so that hopefully it will keep going, and I think it will. It's going to take it a little bit of time, but you can tell there's some green already trying to come, and I may have to tie it back up around it a little to keep from it. It wants to just lay down and go all over the place, but I want to get it to grow up this trellis, and I think it will, because it grew up that little tomato cage I had there until it covered it, and then it drooped down and started growing downward and trying to go all over the ground. But I want to see how pretty it can be on something that's tall enough for it to go all the way up. But there is absolutely always more to do in the garden than I can get done. But if you have a garden, you'll be tired, you'll be dirty, you'll be busy, you'll be frustrated, but you'll never be bored. Even my Russian sage is looking brighter and happier after the rains. And my little butterfly bush is putting on more little panicles. Little panicles of beauty. And this is a new little garden angel. I found her when I was looking for my pink flamingo to put in my water garden. Did I show you that this little polymer Prince begonia is beginning to come back to life? Some of it is anyway. I don't think it all will, but it'll still be great if I could just not lose it entirely. This is the little thundercloud sedum. It's getting so full I may need to take some of it out and thin it a bit, but right now it's looking good. And another beautiful tall lily. And I'm unsure what happened to this little pot. Last year it was so beautiful and full, but now what even is there looks kind of black and like it has maybe a fungus or some insect has been destroying it. I'm really not sure, but I need to do something with this little pot when I have some time. That this little one, you can tell it kept right on going. And that's what I wish they would all do, like this one. It just kept right on going. When I took the plastic, I have it wrapped around it, not where it can't get. I use clear plastic so it can get sun, and I leave it open at the top so it can get moisture. And it did great. That this one right beside it did not do well at all. It was totally gone. I did transplant this little one in there, and I'm pretty sure I transplanted some around those bare spots on the side, but they didn't make it. So, but at least it has a little bit in there. If I can't do it during the hot part of summer, maybe this fall I can get some more going there. But again, I've always heard that you should try to get things started in the spring so their roots will be well established to help them get through the winter. I love zinnias, and they're coming up from last year, just volunteer and blooming, I should say, right now. No garden would want to be without zinnias, and certainly the butterflies and bees and hummingbirds would not want them to not be there. And each one is just so uniquely beautiful. You can certainly tell why this little bloom is called Black and Blue. Please be sure to like and to subscribe to the channel and share us with your friends.